Hey guys, welcome to the second live stream here from Cango Wildlife Ranch. Second live stream of the night. Okay, we're just gonna wait for some more people to join us before we get started. Alright, so while we're waiting, just let me know where you guys are all coming from, watching from. Say hi to everybody and take it from there. Alright, we'll get started in a minute. Some of the lemurs are still outside. It's quite surprising. They're quite curious to see what I'm doing here. So yeah. Okay. Just waiting for a few more people to join us. Hello Pietro, Miranda. Welcome guys. All right. Okay, we'll start in a second. Okay, hi Carmen. All right, see there's a comment coming in. I hope I've got enough blankets. Jason, yeah. No, tipping toe in the water is not going to happen. It is pretty cold. It's, let me check what the temperature is. I've actually got a thermometer over here. It's 10 at the moment, 10 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not too bad actually. I'm waiting for it to get a little bit colder as we go along, and we'll see how it goes. Hello, Willie from Mossel Bay. Siobhan, hello again, welcome. Matthew, Louisa. Alright, cool. So, welcome guys. So I'm going to get started with the stream now. We're going to have a look. We're going to talk about our ringtail lemurs that we've got on here on the island. We're on Lemur Island tonight. And then also some of the greater flamingos. It's them that you can hear in the background, making a lot of noise and being very vocal. Alright. So we're going to have a look quickly before we get started on the info. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to go and have a look at some of the animals that are walking around. The lemurs are surprising me with how active they are for this time of the night. I think it might be because I'm here, so they're a bit curious as to see what's going on. Alright. And then some of them here on the rocks. Alright, so yes, like I said, these guys are ring-tailed lemurs. One of 103 species of lemur that we have on the ranch, that you have out in the world. Alright, hello Karika. Alright, so we've got 3 species of lemurs on the ranch. Obviously the ringtails, and then the common browns, and as well as the black and white ruffed lemurs, which are critically endangered. These guys are endangered. All right, so see the camera is struggling to zoom on them. Let's see if I can get that right. There we go. All right, so they're very active for this time of the night. Usually they wouldn't be. So on this colony we got here, we've got 5 individuals. There's 2 boys and 3 girls. All right. Okay. And like I said earlier, your females are always more dominant than your males, and your females will stay usually in the same group their entire life, while the boys will move around between groups. All right. Okay. Let's see. Very good at climbing. Okay, so where they're going, that is their night house, where it's nice and warm for them. There's underfloor heating in there for them. It'll keep them warm when it gets a little bit colder tonight. All right. Okay. So yeah, ringtail lemurs. Like I said earlier, they are endangered. It's one of the endangered species of lemurs that come from Madagascar. Problems that they face out in the wild include poaching for their meat. Other things like the pet trade is huge for these guys. Habitat loss, climate change are all problems that they're facing. All right. Like I said, pet trade with them, it is massive. There's stats that say from about 2012 till 2015, about 28,000 lemurs of different species were removed from the wild for the pet trade. Also, that they like to keep them, like if you go to a restaurant or a hotel, you often see there might be some fish tanks for the setting. Now in Madagascar, you go to hotels sometimes or to restaurants, and then they'll have lemurs on show. So these are not great practices for these guys. They are not meant to be kept as pets. All right. Usually when people have them as pets, they'll keep them alone, and that is a problem because they are not meant to be alone. They are social animals, okay? They like to live in groups, and also when you have them as a pet, people have them in small enclosures, like in their homes, small enclosures, and that is not really good for them in the sense that they do not get the exercise and the stimulation that they need. They are very, very intelligent animals, so keeping them in small enclosures or in houses, it's not great for these guys. Okay, hi Yolandi. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Alright, Tammy, Tams, thanks for watching. Okay. Alright guys, so let's see if there's any questions that's coming through. Alright, so in zoos across the world today, there's roughly about 2,500 ringtail lemurs. They are the most commonly kept species of lemur in captivity, but they're also the most commonly kept primate in captivity in zoos, for example, around the world. Okay, one of the easiest species to manage in captivity. Obviously, the social structures do play a role, but you need to keep an eye on them. Diets, these guys love their fruits, obviously. Some vegetables that we do feed them on a regular basis. So yeah, the diet is varied by us quite a lot. Each day they get something different, and different ways of prepping it as well for them. Okay, let's see who all is saying. Who's saying hi online? So, hi Leclerc, Desiree, Garrett, Alicia. Alright. Okay, so they've all gone inside now actually, so it's pretty surprising. They've been outside this whole time, and the minute I start the live stream, they run away into the night houses. Okay, so this used to be our main breeding colony that we have on the ranch, but at the moment we're not breeding with them. Our main breeding female, unfortunately, her name was Mommy, and we did lose her last year. She was a very old girl. She was already turning 25, which is pretty old for lemurs. So yeah, that's the old age was catching up to her, and we did have to make an ethical call with her. But yeah, she had a great life with us. And then obviously we've got King Julien, one of our males that is here with us still. He was one of the guys one of the original ringtail lemurs that came and joined us. Okay, so we got some different bloodlines from Spain and Canada when they originally joined us. Okay, they also do eat certain insects. All right, not as much as other species. The brown lemur, the common brown lemur, they are more into eating insects and things like even small birds. They will eat small birds even, right? But these guys, mainly fruit, mainly some leaves, bark, sap, even sometimes clay. They enjoy chewing on clay. All right. Okay, let's see if there's anything else interesting coming through. Okay. Alright, guys. So one of them has just come out and climbed up here again. Okay, so interesting thing about the tails is the tails play a very vital role in communication. So different postures of the tails, and also with males when they are fighting, they do a thing called they stink fight. It sounds pretty weird, but what the boys will do is if they're having a little bit of an argy-bargy, they've got glands on their wrists and as well as on their chest, and then they rub, there's one right behind me. There we go. So they rub those glands on their tail, and then they flick that smell at each other. Okay, so that's why it's called stink fighting. So they throw the smell at each other, and then the first one to back down from the stink fight, he's the loser, and he will then leave the group, or he won't be available for mating. All right. Okay, let's quickly see. Sheridan, hi, all the way from the UK. Okay. Alright, so these guys we don't close in the night houses. They have the option to come out at night. The ones on Lemur Island. Alright, so they're jumping all over the show. So the way the enclosure is also set up is there's different heights for them, different obstacles for them to climb on. Let's see if I can get you to see that. Alright. Okay. Alright, so let's see, there's a question coming through, what kind of enrichment do we do with them? Again, there's quite a lot of different types. Because of them being so intelligent, you can do a lot of even puzzle feeders where they got to work out little puzzles, how to get their food, hide their food. One of the more impressive things for them is it's called a mesh feeder. It's just like a mesh cube, and you put the food in there. And the nice thing about this is that they will then, because if you feed lemurs in a bowl continuously in captivity, they stop using their hands to grab their food, and that's a problem. So with the mesh feeder, what that does is it actually then encourages them to bring back that natural behavior of using their hands to get their food and then eat like that. So that's one of the important things about enrichment, is that it brings back natural behaviors. All right, so there you can see them, the tail upright, alert, looking what's going on. All right, so like I said, they're very curious as to why I am here tonight. Between the live streams now, I was laying on my temporary bed for tonight. I've kind of hidden it under a bush to try and shield me from the cold tonight. And they were all around me, above me, moving around, trying to figure out what I'm doing under this bush. All right. Okay, let's see what else is that's coming through. Okay. Okay, guys. If you've got any more questions about the lemurs, otherwise I'm going to go on to the flamingos in a second as well. So one of the other things about these guys out in the wild is they mainly occur on the southern part of Madagascar. Let's see what he's doing. Right, yeah, mainly occur in the southern part of Madagascar. But the problem is that they will live in little scattered populations. So the distribution across the southern part of Madagascar is huge, but the populations that are scattered across are very small. So there isn't very many of them around there. All right, out in the wild, there's not many left, unfortunately. The population is decreasing, and they believe that in the next 36 years, the population will decrease by 50%, right? Which is crazy amounts. Popping out of nowhere. You can see how well they jump around. Okay. And the southern part of Madagascar is quite an arid part of Madagascar, and they're actually feeding on the palm tree over there. And they believe as well that in this century the temperatures in Madagascar are going to rise by 2.6 degrees Celsius, and that will make the area where they are currently occurring even more arid and more dry, which will affect their populations as well. So Garrett, you asked, do I think they'll come bother you while I'm sleeping? I don't think so. If they get really brave, they might, but they won't do anything. They are used to me, and they're a little bit nervous now with the night, the same as Didi was last night, but I don't think they're going to be that nervous that they will do anything. They'll just be inquisitive. But I think once the temperatures do drop quite low, they will also go to bed. So yeah, we're going to go to the flamingos now, see what they're up to. They're very vocal. I'm going to switch the camera around quickly. I'm just going to go over here. Okay, so sometimes you can hear the flamingos, their calls carry quite far into town as well. You can hear them. Right, so I'm just going to get a torch, and I'm going to take you over to the flamingos because the light doesn't carry so well all the way to where they are. All right. So we've got a nice spotlight rigged up here in this enclosure. You can see here this guy, he's got his tail wrapped around his neck like a scarf. Keeps him nice and warm. All right, so let's see. Where are they? Okay, there's some over there. Okay, then you'll also hear there's some ducks in here. We've got yellow-billed ducks in the enclosure as well. So the flamingo species we've got on the ranch, they are the greater flamingo. Now, we mentioned earlier in our earlier stream that you get 6 different flamingos across the world. 2 species you do find in South Africa are the greater and the lesser. All right. Now the greater is the biggest species of flamingo, but they're also the palest in color. And interesting fact about them, the color comes from the food and the amount of keratin or beta keratin that is in the food. All right. Okay, I'm going to go around the other side of this yucca tree. It'll be a little bit easier to see them. All right, so if they did not have a diet high in beta keratin, they would lose that pink coloring and they would actually go white. All right. Okay, so we're heading over to the group now. So we've got 20 flamingos in this enclosure. I don't want to scare them. All right, there we go. So they do enjoy living in groups. They can live in groups of up to 100, and they enjoy living in water up to about 1 meter in depth. And what they do is, as they walk through the water, they stamp their feet and they stir up all the mud at the bottom of the water body, and then that will kick up all the prey that they will then feed on. So they feed on a lot of different things, mollusks, algae, brine shrimp. There's quite a variety of things that these guys will feed on, and the red and blue algae that they feed on are high in beta keratin, and that is a chemical compound that has got a reddish orange color, and then that gets stored as fats in the root bases of the feathers, and that's where the pink coloring then comes from. Right, it gets absorbed into the feathers, the coloring. Right, so if you increase the amount of beta keratin, you can also increase the coloring a little bit. All right, so we feed them here a special diet that is also purchased from a company in Port Elizabeth, and that is the food called Flamingo Red, and that's designed for flamingos and provides them with everything that they need to keep them nice and healthy. All right, so the beaks, very loud. So the beaks are quite specialized. So the tongue basically pumps the water into the mouth when they're feeding, and then through these cone-shaped structures, which then will filter out the food that they will then be eating out of the water, like that. All right, so you could basically call them as well like filter feeders almost. Okay. So the whole night they've actually been around this corner. Now the whole Lemur Island is surrounded by a lake, almost you could say, and mostly during the day they're not on this side of the enclosure, they're on the opposite side of the enclosure, but it seems like the whole night tonight they've been here in this corner. They've been preferring it. Alright, so we're going to be going back this way. So these guys, the flamingos, their population is not in decline actually. Their population is actually on the up, and it is increasing. The estimate number of greater flamingos across the world today is around about estimated between 550 and 680,000 greater flamingos. All right. Okay. Again, guys, you see I'm wearing a mask. That's just basically precautions that we're taking with COVID-19. Unfortunately, as I talk, it does fall down every now and then, so readjusting. Okay. I see somebody was here saying it's almost as awesome as their Halloween tour last year. That was a lot of fun. I did take part in that as well. It was quite fun. Cool. See what other questions we've got here that's come through. Okay, big improvement on the lights. Thank you very much. Yep. We got the spotlight set up here, which was handy. Last night was a little bit difficult with lighting in the temple as well. Okay, so problems that the flamingos face unfortunately in the wild is habitat loss, again, major problem. And then tourists also affect their breeding sites. All-terrain vehicles, low-flying airplanes, also droughts. There's a lot more droughts happening these days, and that reduces the water in the lakes where they would breed and have their nests, and this then makes their nests available to predators to get to eat on the eggs, as well as the youngsters that are in the nest. So usually the nests will be surrounded by water and protected, but with droughts and there's less water, it also makes that then available for predators, which is a problem. Okay. Okay. Now these guys have never tried to escape. Okay, we've actually a few years ago increased our population. We got a few more in from another facility up north. We actually got in 12, so to increase our population up to 20. And they're doing really well. Like I said in the previous stream as well, the oldest one ever in captivity was 83 years of age, which is quite an old guy. All right. So no, unfortunately not. We have not been successful with breeding. There is different theories on breeding with these guys. A lot of people say you do need a larger colony for breeding. They are quite specialized with breeding, building nice big cone-shaped nests. It's quite cool to see that protrude out of the water, and then they lay their eggs there, and usually they need quite a bit of space around the nests, at least a meter, and they will actually ferociously defend those nests from the rest of the group. Like I said, they like to be in big groups, so up to 100, and they will actively defend those nesting sites. Okay. Let's see any other questions coming through. So, okay, I hope you guys are enjoying the live streams that we're doing. This is the second one of the night. We'll be doing one more later on tonight. That one I can guarantee you will be a lot colder, and we'll see how that does. So I'm going to take you around this way a little bit. You can see a little bit of the rest of the island. It is quite dark at the moment. See if any of the lemurs. There's the spotlight, sorry guys. And then the lake, and on the other side there where it's really dark, that is mainly where we feed them. So they do prefer to have different zones. They like to have a resting zone, they like to have a feeding zone, and they also would like to have a breeding zone where they will build their nests. Alright, so this seems to be more of the resting zone for the night times, and then the feeding, and where we also try and help them build nests is on the other side of the lake, in that direction where it's quite dark, unfortunately. It's a little bit bigger space as well, and away from the lemurs as well. Okay. Awesome guys, just going through the comments, seeing what you all are saying. Thank you guys for joining us. The other thing I'm just mentioning again to you guys is, if you guys are around and still awake on the at 11 o'clock, pop in again. We will be doing a flash sale on tickets for when we do open up again. That it's 50% off of your normal entrance ticket. And I'll be giving you guys information on how to get access to the discount at the 11 o'clock stream. Okay, so for those of you that tuned in last night, you would have also heard we're doing dares and challenges from some of the staff for us that are doing the night streams. Tonight Angelique joined me, and we posted this morning yesterday's dare of hanging upside down. Well, not so much hanging, but doing a handstand and then trying to eat something or drink something. It was a lot of fun. Like I said as well, I was surprised how easy it is to actually drink upside down. Okay, so Narinda has asked, they want evidence of my bed. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys. So what I've done is, because I'm sleeping outside tonight, I'm trying to shelter a little bit from the cold. So I've kind of hidden my stretcher underneath the bush, and I will be just show you guys that quickly. So underneath there, that is my bed. So that's the bush, hoping that it will keep the cold from falling on me quite a bit tonight, and I'll stay nice and warm. Alright, so that's evidence of the bed, where I'll be staying a little bit later. Alright guys, so the lemurs have also left us. They've gone inside. So it's just the flamingos that are out with me at the moment through there. Let's turn the camera around again quick, sorry. Okay. So yeah. Just having a look at the comments again. Some people saying, looking forward to coming back as a volunteer. Thank you guys. It's always great working with the volunteers. It's a lot of fun. Also a lot of fun teaching the WAVs about what we do and the animals that we have here and how we can help also. So it's always great fun. And like I said, at the moment we don't have volunteers because we are closed due to COVID-19 lockdown. And that again is the reason why I'm doing this day of sleeping outside with the animals. To try and raise funding to keep the ranch going so that we can keep on looking after them. So we know that everybody is struggling financially, but if possible, if anybody can, just follow the links for donations as well. This is the second night. After tonight I've got 5 more to do. It will be fun, and tomorrow we will be doing some more of the days, another day. Alright, let's see. So Angela's asking what are the bats up to. So I haven't been in there tonight. I was there last night, but I have heard them. I have heard some screaming earlier on. For those of you that tuned in last night, you would have heard how loud they can be. If you missed it, you can always watch our videos on our Facebook page. They are all posted there of what we did through last night. There was some nice creepy things that happened. And also some nice sightings of the animals and getting to see what they were up to at night. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. This is actually a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying having all our guests. Tonight, like I said, was Angelique that joined me. Big shout out to her. Thank you very much for coming in and joining me with the stream. All right, and then the last shout out would be a big happy birthday to Sir David Attenborough, who turned 94 today. He is obviously a very big inspiration for anybody that works in this field. So a big happy birthday to him as well. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me tonight, guys. We will let's see what else is that's been said. Yeah, I'll let you guys know if I see anything else that comes around. We do have some wild birds that do come into this enclosure. I will talk a little bit about that in our next stream at 11 o'clock. So tune in for that as well. And then, yeah, I will see you guys at 11 o'clock. Stay safe. Hope you guys are enjoying it all and having a good night. Enjoy your warm beds. And yes, like I said, stay safe and healthy, guys, and take care of yourselves. All right. See you soon at 11 p.m. And then we'll also be talking about the flash sale. All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you.